pleasant good evening to you all who've gathered here this evening. I see there are a lot of our supporters and fans and so on. I was asked, to ask you, to come up front, come a little further up. I know you enjoy sitting in your cars and stuff like that, but, if you can come up a little further, we would appreciate that. Before we get into tonight's program, let us have the national song, please.
God bless Anguilla, nurture and keep her, noble and beauty as she stands midst the sea. O land of the happy, a haven we'll make thee. Our lives and love we give unto thee. With hearts and souls we'll build our nation proud, strong and free. We love her, hold her dear to our hearts for eternity. Let truth and right our banner be. We'll march ever on. Let truth and right our banner be. We'll march ever on. Mighty will make her, long may she prosper. God grants all leaders wisdom and grace. May glory and honor ever attend her. Firm shall she stand throughout every age. With hearts and souls we'll build our nation proud, strong and free. We love her, hold her dear to our hearts for eternity. Let truth and right our banner be. We'll march ever on. Let truth and right our banner be. We'll march ever on.
Thank you. I would like to call on Brother C. Brooks for the opening prayer.
Praise the Lord. Let us bow our head in a word of prayer, please. Father and God, we thank you again for another glorious opportunity, whereby this is the day that the Lord has made. Truly we may rejoice and be glad in it. Father, as we present this program, this meeting tonight, O God, we ask that your Holy Spirit will cover the ground this afternoon. We pray, O God, for those that are traveling, bring them in peace and in safety. Touch every minister, touch all the words, touch the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. As we present this meeting in District 6, we ask that the Holy Spirit will take full control. Have thine divine way. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Brother C. Brooks. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming out to this, another one of our Anguilla United Front meetings. Some folks like to describe it as rallies. We are glad to have you. We are very pleased with your attendance, and we know that a lot of folks are listening in via the various media methods, and we are glad to have you with us as well. We are here this evening in District 6. District 6, Road South, Blowing Point, and the surrounding areas. We are here this evening to present to you our candidate in this upcoming general election who will be contesting this seat here in District 6. There is no doubt that this district is an extremely important district, and representation in this district is critical, especially in these times. There's no doubt that there was a short span when Maurice Connor would have defeated the incumbent at the time, Hubert Benjamin Hughes. And then in 2015 to 2020, Kora Richardson would have defeated Hayden Hughes in this district. Notwithstanding that, this district was represented by Hubert B. Hughes for well over 4 decades, just about 4 decades and a little more. I am not going to insult the good people in District 6 like the candidate for APM did in District 3. I will not do that. I will not go there. He said, and his surrogates, that District 3, free District 3. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to appeal to you, the people in District 6. You have an alternative to Hayden Hughes. And I will speak a little more as the program goes on, in depth and in detail, with respect to the present representative you have. We are going to compare and contrast not only his record, but his attitude, his approach, and his style in dealing with you, the people, not only in District 6, but in Anguilla in general. We're going to point that out, and I'm going to point it out. I want to say to you that you have to be extremely, extremely careful in where you cast your vote in this upcoming general election. This is a critical election. And my fellow Anguillians, you in District 6, when you go to the polls on election day, I am saying to you, to our supporters not only in District 6, but throughout Anguilla, to vote the Anguilla United Front candidate in the particular districts. And to vote for the 4 candidates at large. And let me introduce the Anguilla United Front team, let's say in District 6. The candidate in District 6 is Patrick Martinborough. And I'm asking you for your support for Patrick Martinborough as your district representative. I am also asking you for your support of the 4 at-large candidates for the Anguilla United Front. On your ballot, you will see the district. On the left-hand side of your ballot. On the right-hand side is the island-wide candidate. So, on the district side, you will have Patrick Martinborough, and you will have Hayden Hughes. On the right side of the ballot, the island-wide candidates. There is Jose Van Der Poel. There is Kyle Hajj. There is Jason Bryan. And there is your honorable, humble servant, Evans McNeil Rogers.
Hello, yellow!
I'm asking you, I'm appealing to you. There's no need to mix and match. This is a team effort. Not an individual effort, a team effort. To all my supporters, well-wishers, and my friends and family in District 6. I know that quite a lot of you are excited about having me on this political rostrum in these times. And I know, and you know who you are. And I'm appealing to you not only to go out and support me, but when you go and you support me, I am vote and support, I am asking you to elect, to vote for the entire AUF team. That is what it is. This is not about me. This is about the future of Anguilla, the young ones, and all of our survival here. This is what is at stake in this general election. And I'm going to refer to some comments that were made on this very ground here on Saturday by the representative of this constituency. And he referred to me by name, bringing back Neil. Reminds him of the story when our good Lord and Savior resurrected Lazarus from the dead. Well, my brother, the people in this constituency and the people in Anguilla, every single constituency in Anguilla will have an opportunity for the first time to vote for Lazarus. And I'm going to say this. I'm elated, sometimes lost for words when I move around Anguilla with the jubilation, the elation in some of our voters. And I'm saying to you, and I'm appealing to those individuals, yes, I love it. I appreciate it. But this is not about me. This is not about one individual. This is about the Anguilla United Front team to help rescue this country. That is what it's about. To help rescue this country. And everything I say from these political rostrums, it's taken out of context. I said on live, I think it was nomination day, asked the question, you are back. You're an old veteran. Yes. And I said then that, this Anguilla United Front team has a core of young, brilliant individuals. And I named some of them. I named them a core. Core as part of the team. It's a team effort. A mixture of youth with experience. We are a team. And each and every one of the Anguilla United Front candidates has a role to play, and a critical role to play. I was so impressed the other day when we went up and viewed a local youngster, Smith, his farm. I don't know too much about farming except yard fowl raising and 2 or 3 peas. But the technology and the assistance that he needed is not being provided by this administration. Pure photo ops. And it pleased my heart to see what Kora Richardson and Claude Smith was able to have a sensible conversation with Mr. Smith about farming, about the technologies in farming. I learned so much there at that particular visit. Amazing what can be done here. And we have a Minister of Agriculture who's parading all around, cleaning out the mango trees down on the flat land with all sorts of nonsense, rather than getting individuals who know this business what to do. Claude and Kora are hands-on with the physical aspect of it, as well as the technologies that are available. They are not waiting to be elected and showcased. They do that. They do that. And when you look at Kyle Hajj, young entrepreneur, individual who was elected by you, the people throughout this entire country, was a minister in government, was committed to the promises that he was part of, trying to form the government. And he stayed true to form. Again, the background that we are talking about here. When we talk about Joseph Vanterpool and his whole .ai and domain and crypto coins and all that sort of fancy stuff, you have someone who is there to assist. When you talk about education, the honorable representative, my honorable representative from Valley North, Shelia, is there. You compare that with the present Minister of Education, who will attend a meeting with the teachers' union via Zoom. Imagine the disrespect. And my fellow Anguillians, the Minister of Infrastructure going around and parading about roads and infrastructure and buildings and whatnot. Yes, tangible things that you can see. Is this the first time that roads were being built in Anguilla, that buildings were being built in Anguilla? Got up here and say, oh, they don't have to hope and pray and wish for a hurricane so that they can get British money. None of us will pray for hurricanes. We know what they are. Right? No other administration in the history of Anguilla had ever been so fortunate to have that AI. The funds from that fall straight in their laps. They did absolutely nothing for that. What they did was to make sure that they outsource it. And you and I, the electorate of this country, we do not know what is in that agreement. We do not know who are the power players in that agreement. And if you all know, please inform me. We do not know what it has cost us. Do not know. I never had it. And don't talk about the GST. We're going to come to that a little later. But again, the hypocrisy and the deviousness of this administration. These individuals, they are grandmasters of lying. The grandmasters of lying. There's nobody can tell more lies than them. And you know what they do? They enjoy telling you lies in a format to make you believe it. I listened to Hayden talking about some $6 million from the health authority, and some 4.235. He called out the figures down to the cents that was unaccounted for. The last time I checked, unless this APM administration put in place or give the authorization for a minister to be a government accounting officer, is new. Absolutely new. Because I was a minister and I wasn't a government accounting officer. There are government accounting officers who they are responsible. And if it's a new thing now, where these ministers, since 2020, they have become accounting officers, then when we change the administration, when you change the administration at the end of this month, 25th and 26th, we will have to do a forensic audit and we will have to see what these ministers were involved in. Because that is news for me. And I am sure that the longest standing Minister of Finance, the Honorable Victor Franklin Banks, that would be news for him as well. It would be news for our leader, the next and the first female premier, Kora Richardson Hajj. It will be news for them. And I'm not campaigning here openly. I am campaigning here honestly. And if that is so, it will also be news for the former Minister of Infrastructure who has his party. News for him. So the point I am making here, that is if this administration, these ministers, will have to find out if they are government accounting officers. So we have to look closely at what has taken place. Very closely at what has taken place. And don't be fooled by the nonsense they're telling you that, oh, an AUF administration is going to stop the projects that are taking place and that our folks are going to lose their jobs, the projects are going to stop. Well, the only way the projects can stop is if the outgoing APM administration, if they are the accounting officers. That's the only way they can stop. How come they didn't stop the projects that they met there? And we're going to go into it. How come they didn't stop that? So we are so immature and irresponsible to stop projects or to stop progress. They're running around about progress. Yes, the progress. Yes, the progress. But who is progressing? Are you progressing? That's the question you've got to ask. And hear this. You see all sorts of things going on now. They want to remove the GST from just about everything now. Why? Because the 25th and 26th of this month is a general election. We can't be that gullible. Can't be that gullible. I am just here to cheer tonight, but I got a lot more to say. And before I get into what I have to say, let me introduce to you our first speaker. But before I introduce to you our first speaker, I want to remind you that on election day, we need you to come out. We need you to come out and vote for the entire Anguilla United Front slate. That is what we need you to come out and do. And my fellow Anguillians and the electorate of my wonderful country, you do not win an election with the pomp and the flair. You win an election day, on election day, by you, the people, coming out to vote for us, the Anguilla United Front. Our symbol is the beacon. You don't even have to look for my name. You don't even have to look for Kyle's name. If you want to, that's fine. Look for the beacon. And wherever you see that beacon, make sure that you circle there. Don't touch the outside of the circle. Start from the inside. And give us your vote. And we can assure you that with God's help, we'll try to restore normalcy to this country, and a lot of the up and down things that are taking place, a lot of the secrecy, and a lot of this dictatorial rule that we have here will have to stop. My fellow Anguillians, please welcome the district representative, the AUF District 5 representative, none other than Mr. Devon Carty.
Make your vote count. Anguilla United Front. Yeah, yeah. Moving together, hey. Moving united. We prioritize quality education. Trusting way to better the healthcare system. GST relief to the people. Empowering all the young people. Watch me. Diversify the economy. If you're proud to be a beacon, follow it. We gon' tackle the crime and the violence. This is the time then to come out and vote. For the 5 beacons, come out and vote. For the AUF, cause we moving together.
Blowing Point, District 6. Yo, this used to be my stomping grounds years ago when I was a social worker. So I got good roots in this community. These are my people. Hello, yellow. I just want to say this. It's time to get rid of the politics and trade that in for leadership. It is politics that has Anguilla in the state that it's in, and we need to move beyond that. We need to be cognizant of the fact that we're 15,000 people strong in a small, manageable nation. And I'm trying to figure out how we got to the point where the struggle that we are going through is real. We've gotten to the point where materialism has taken over. It's no longer about care, generosity, well-being, and love for one another. We need to take Anguilla back to the point where we matter to one another, where our neighbors matter, where our family matters, where when Blowing Point isn't doing well, North Hill cares. And when North Hill isn't doing well, Island Harbor cares. And when East End isn't doing well, Long Bay cares. Anguilla is too small to be divided and segregated and warring against one another. That is enough. We are 13 to 15,000 people strong, and we are all family. I wanted to get that out of the way. And I'm gonna rest this here. I want to rest respect right here, because respect is critical. And this is the difference between politics, or rather politicians and leaders. I heard a comment about my former District 5 candidate, my former District 5 rep, Mrs. Everly Bradley. Without going into details, I'll say this. I know Everly. And she is more generous, more caring, more kind, more giving, more loving in 1,000,001 ways than the person who's uttered those words. In fact, she has proven to be more of a leader and less of a politician. And I think those words matter, because Anguilla today is seeking leadership, not politics. And I'm very serious about this. I can see the way forward for us as a people. But it's not with us fighting one another and disrespecting one another. That is our very downfall. And I know that I'm a big part of this campaign, but I never ever feel the need to defend myself against words that are spoken about me in someone else's haste for power. I don't feel it's necessary, because my work speaks for itself. And I understand all good and well that only those with minute intelligence have to go to the lowest of lows in order to win. But remember this, the way that you win is the way that you lose. The way that you win is the way that you govern. And that is why we are in the predicament that we are in today as a country. Because there are those who are amongst us who will stoop to the lowest of lows to achieve what it is they want, all the while pretending like as if they're giving the people Anguilla something. Classic example. Take from you with one hand and give back to you what is yours with the other. And brag and boast like as if something is done. There is a significant amount of disrespect in that political maneuver. It says that those people are of the opinion and impression that we as Anguillians are dumb. How can Anguillians be considered to be done when we as a people have thrived and survived on this 35 square miles of rock with no lakes, no rivers, and very, very fruits on the trees, and we have made this country successful out of nothing? Only somebody who is foreign to this land can come to that conclusion. And y'all can pick sense out of nonsense. But I'll leave that there. You know, it feels good to be in District 6, and it feels especially good to be here in this capacity, on this stage. It's good to stand on this stage campaigning for a brother, one who stands out in this era for his actions taken on behalf of the people of Anguilla. This man has the heart of a lion. This man has shown his hand. He knows where he stands, and he has shown us. Unlike his opponent, I remember the Anguilla independence movement and the man behind it, selling the concept of independence, pretending to be pro-black, pro-Anguillian. But unlike Mr. Martinborough, when he got the chance, he just rolled over. He sold out. He reverted to the lowest form, doing anything to hold on to power. Malign, lie, mislead. He became what he was. Not like us. Pat is different. He called Hayden Hughes a friend. But when that friendship was tested, Patrick Martinborough put Anguilla first. When that relationship was tested, Patrick Martinborough put Anguilla first. These are very, very special occurrences because it shows you the true heart of a man. The heart of a man is not shown in his words, it is shown in his actions. And in those actions, it was clear where Mr. Martinborough stood. He stood up for the Anguillian people against the might of the entire government of Anguilla. That is incredible and that is commendable. Mr. Martinborough took the opportunity and he put Anguilla first. In contrast, Hayden Hughes, when given the opportunity, has always put himself first. And I don't have to call it out. This is a small country, we know. We all have our own stories and our own incidences. And so it is not necessary for me to take up your time telling you stories. We all have an experience that we can lean to. We're familiar. Imagine an independent Anguilla with Hayden in control. I don't have to tell you what that looks like. We've seen it. The lack of transparency, the threats, the victimization, the negative atmosphere. We are all familiar. It is in the air. I urge you, Anguillians, get over your fears. Fear is the greatest enemy of progress. They talk about progress. You can't progress in a frightened country. That mentality leaves us nowhere. And again, I urge the people, because the politicians have power, but the people have even more power. And on the 25th and the 26th of February, you have the opportunity and the right to exercise that power. There's no need to be afraid. There's no need to be afraid to speak out. It is a global right. Again, a country filled with fear will never progress. And so the fear that we have existing in Anguilla today, it is not about progress for you, the people. It is about progress for a few. And I guarantee you are not amongst those few. And this is where I now get to talk about the people I have aligned myself with in the Anguilla United Front, the AUF. People I am proud to be aligned with. True leaders. People who care. People who don't have to pretend to care. People who don't cast out the illusion of fear. People who over their years as individuals, each and every single one of them, have proven that they care.
Hello, yellow.
Again, Mr. Patrick Martinborough. That's a mighty step, my brother. And I'm proud of you for that. For standing up for what is right. I want everybody within earshot of my voice to recognize the power of that man, the courage that it took. Because when he made those decisions to go up against a government, he knew what the consequences would be. But he chose to show the Anguillian people another way. And that way is to stand up for your rights, stand up with courage, stand up for your family, stand up for your neighbors, stand up for your friends. Today, Anguilla is suffering, and greed and selfishness is taking over the highest offices of this land. There are those of us who have come here looking for a better life, and there are those of us who've stayed here, only to be faced with a struggle. We have seen the cost of living rise whilst wages remain stagnant. We have seen many choose the option to migrate for a better life. What do we expect from a government? A government that is chosen literally when you go to vote. That is your power. One has to connect and one has to vote sensibly. You don't want your government to be focusing on roads when your youth are being affected by gun violence. You don't want a government to be focused on aesthetics when there's a health crisis. You don't want a government to be focused on potholes when citizens are struggling to feed themselves. You don't want a government to be destroying the very businesses that provide jobs to the citizens of this nation whilst they enrich themselves. Which gets us to this point. Ultimately, the people get the government they deserve. Your government is really a reflection of the people. Business is personal, but politics is national. Consider the plight of your fellow man when you're deciding what type of government you want. When choosing who to vote for, there is no time to be selfish or greedy. Consider your fellow citizens and always, without fail, always choose candidates that genuinely put the people first. I want you to consider health. I want you to look at the state of our health system and look at Senior Shield. Do you realize that if a senior has to see a visiting specialist, that person is not covered by the Shield? If the government pharmacy is out of medication prescribed, then you are not covered by the Shield. And I say all that to say this: there is work to be done. There is work to be done, my people. We need to look at the state of education. Look at what our youth have to go through, locked away in their rooms because their parents are afraid to let them out. My people, there is no bigger crisis than the crisis that the youth of Anguilla face today. There is no more an important issue, and we need to be serious about it and stop shoving it under the rug. Humanity ultimately, if it's not about love and respect, it's about absolutely nothing. We first have to start caring about one another. We need to let go of the greed and the selfishness, and we need to embrace each other as brothers and sisters. When you go to the polls, consider your neighbor, not just yourself. How is your neighbor doing? And vote accordingly. How is your friend, your family? And vote accordingly. Vision is not prioritizing a road when your youth are in trouble and struggling. Caring is not only when something goes wrong, but it is every single day. Not only in a time of need. Again, let's focus on what is important. Beware the illusion of care. The days of politicians filling potholes in the road with dirt to impress you, those days are no more, because we are smarter than that. Not when the struggle is real. Enough of the politics. We need leadership. And the days of voting for family just because them family, let that be no more. Especially when our family overseas are about to lose their rights to come home and vote, especially if this government is re-elected. The writing is on the wall. It is on the wall in their gestures beforehand. It is on the wall in their snap elections. A snap election is all about not giving people enough time to respond. We have to see, and we have to see clearly. Gone are the days when we show that we genuinely love and care for each other. Gone are the days when we felt for one another. It is now time to show that we care more about each other than we care about concrete. Every single member of the AUF has a genuine record of care, a record of giving back in time and resources. I want you, the people of District 6, the people of Blowing Point, you have a huge role to play, not only in an election, but in the future of Anguilla. We made a mistake 5 years ago. It is time to correct it. Enough lies. Enough of the disrespect. Enough of the victimization. Enough of the maligning. Enough of the lack of transparency. Something that this government promised and has yet to deliver on. I don't have to tell you, this is a small society. It's all ingrained up here. You know. And when you go to the polls on the 25th and the 26th, I want you to take one thing into consideration. Most importantly, the APM government must go. And in order for you to do that, I want you to vote for Kyle Hajj the Beacon, Joseph Vanterpool the Beacon, vote MacNeil Rogers the Beacon, vote Patrick Martinborough the Beacon, vote Pat and call it that.
Hello, yellow.
And one more thing before I leave the stage. One more thing. Just one more thing. There's a gentleman from my district who I love very, very much. I respect him to the bone. But when you call Madam Leader incompetent, imagine that. The most incompetent man in politics calling Madam Leader incompetent. A wonderful person. Madam Leader, I have sat in rooms with Madam Leader, and I admire her. Her strength, her resilience, her patience, and the way she goes about business. She's extremely thoughtful, never rushed. And I'll tell you all something before I leave. AUF is the party to lead this country. Kora is the woman to lead this country. And the rest of the AU team is qualified and ready to take this country forward. God bless you, love you, respect you, District 6. Peace and love.
Anguilla United Front. Yeah, yeah.
Hello, yellow.
Moving united. We priority is quality education. Just in way to better the healthcare system. GST relief to the people. Empowering all the young people. Watch way. Diversify the economy. If you're proud to be a beacon, follow it. We gon' tackle the crime and the violence. This is the time then to come out and vote. For the 5 beacons, come out and vote. For the AUF, 'cause we moving together, moving united, moving together, moving united, moving together, moving united. Put your people first, leadership you can trust. Moving together, moving united, moving together, moving united, moving together, moving united. District to district.
Hello, yellow.
Hello, yellow. You've heard Brother Davon. And I want to pick up on a few things that Davon would have mentioned in his presentation. And I want you to listen to me very, very carefully. He spoke about the whole idea of the premier calling a snap elections and trying to disenfranchise Anguillians who are living abroad. I said it before, that Anguillians living in Anguilla and living abroad, who are 45 years and younger, did not know of Lorenzo Webster until 2015 when he came to run for election. We knew Sam, Iweb, Betchy, all of the others, and the girls. Someone like Dr. Webster. And Dr. Webster, MD, ENT, don't take 40 years or 45 years to qualify. So you can't tell the people that the entire 4 decades and more out of Anguilla was studying. But then again, type of falsehood and lies that you're surrounded with, you may come up with that. Someone who has spent more than 4 decades out of Anguilla and trying to prevent, to disenfranchise our folks who are living abroad from coming home to vote. I was told that APM was in St. Martin last night. I don't know, or yesterday. What are you doing there if you don't want Anguillians from further afield coming home to vote? And don't take my word for it. You would have seen the clip with Dr. Webster making the statement that being an Anguillian, whether through birth, marriage, or any other avenue, does not give you the right to vote in Anguilla. We know that. But listen to this. Watch this. It is a calculated move to try and disenfranchise and prevent the Anguillians who are overseas from coming home to vote. And watch this. Dr. Webster, as Premier of Anguilla, would have made the decision to call the snap election. He would have made the decision for the days and dates of the upcoming general election. It had nothing to do with the governor or any of his ministers. He did it. In 2020, general election, when the AUF administration made the amendments to the Constitution and the electoral reform, which allowed the 4 at-large seats, and for the first time allowed those individuals who are challenged and who are aging to have their special day to vote, rather than coming and standing up in the line, a caring administration about our elderly. Make provisions for early voting. And you know what we did? The early voting was on a Friday, and the general election was on a Monday. So that, and of course it was COVID and everything else, but the point I am making here is that our Anguillians who are living abroad, of course they're not sitting down, they're not waiting. When they could come in to spend the weekend, Friday, vote Monday, and they can leave Monday or Tuesday, because this is their homeland, and they have a right to vote. Look at what Dr. Webster did to prevent them from coming home. Early voting is on a Tuesday, and the general election is on the Wednesday. So if you are coming home to vote, it isn't a weekend, it's a whole week that you're taking away from your job and your employment to come home. So he's telling you that you shouldn't come. Why not Friday and Monday if he cares about the people and the people who are living overseas? Why? Ask yourself the question. Why? And I want to tell you this. Doc, my classmate, you have surrounded yourself with some folks that I'm really, not only tired, but I'm so disappointed. One of our schoolmates said to me yesterday, and she rubbed it in my face. In 2020, after the APM won the election, she was hesitant about Dr. Webster. I said to her, He's going to be all right. He's an intelligent guy, and he reads. Yesterday, she said, "Are you still comfortable?" I said, "I'm disappointed." She said, "I was disappointed from day one." Because being premier with no preparation, it would have been like they're all locked up in a room with all the lights turned off. So they're butting up on each other, don't know where to go. I listened to a clip, and maybe it is the AI, because you know you could put Donald Trump or anyone voice to something. I say it's probably that. With Dr. Webster, it was him and Elkin, I believe it was, where he said, and I wrote it down, I'm paraphrasing here now, that the AUF government did all sorts of things that wasn't approved in Executive Council. And he mentioned a specific company related to the Water Authority at the time. Said that the Anguilla United Front brought in 7 Cs without Executive Council approval. Now, Dr. Webster, the chairperson of the Water Authority at that particular time was Kora Richardson. Mark Romney was also on that board, if my memory serves me correct. And I recall Chris coming to Executive Council. I mean, there were a number of meetings and presentations. I don't know where you would have gotten that type of information. I can't believe that you're trying to fool the people because an election is coming around and the AUF has the momentum, so you're trying to squash what is going on. It is either that or because of the APM's behavior and what they want to do outside of an Executive Council, why you're coming up with these scenarios. So don't be fooled by these individuals talking about that. And I want to go again, not only disappointed with Dr. Webster in terms of health, I am disappointed in Dr. Webster with his approach and the way that he is treating the young people of Anguilla. Imagine Dr. Webster calling a snap or early election. The dates. We've been having debates with the candidates and so on and so forth. But imagine this. When asked about a leaders' debate, leaders that would have included the Honorable Kora Richardson Hajj, Mr. Curtis Richardson, and Dr. Webster, leaders for the 3 political parties. Dr. Webster's response is that he will be unavailable. You imagine that? He is unavailable to debate the other 2 leaders, and he is the one who decided on the date of election. And you know what? If he is unavailable for the leaders' debate, our district candidates are unavailable for the district debates. And we are not walking away from the debates, we are suspending them until we get a leaders' debate. We want the at-large candidates all the at-large candidates. We need to have a debate, all the at-large candidates, because we are asking you in all 6 constituencies to vote for us. But if you're going to tell me the leader of government business is unavailable for a leaders' debate, and the debates are organized by the young people need to know the caliber of leadership that they would be voting for. You all get that? The premier is saying that he is unavailable for dates that he set. He is the one who set those dates. He set those dates and is unavailable. So I want the people of this country to realize that this Anguilla United Front is not walking away from any debate. We've suspended them until the leader of government business and the premier decides. So if he knew he wasn't going to be available, give another 2 weeks. You can come after Lent, You can do all of that. And if my memory serves me correct, he has all the way up until September. All the way until September. You're going to call a snap election and then say you're not available for the young people? Ladies and gentlemen, I am baffled. Not only disappointed, but you, the electorate, have an opportunity. You have an opportunity on the 25th and 26th of this month to go out and vote for the Anguilla United Front, a government that cares about you and put people first, especially our young people. Especially our young people. Our next speaker, a young man who is prepared, who has prepared himself for leadership role. A graduate of the International Relations School, International Relations. He understands the negotiations that will take place between countries. He's the co-founder of the Western Creditors Football Club, a community man, a young man who puts people first. He's bilingual. And I envy him for that. Bilingual. I envy him for that. A young man whose roots are here in Anguilla. I just found out a couple days that the Bryans and the Machini, they're all related to him. So he's not only from West End, he's from District 3 as well. My fellow Anguillians, please welcome on stage none other than Mr. Jason Bryan, one of our at-large candidates in the 2025 general election.
Good evening, District 6. Good evening, my fellow Anguillians. Hello, yellow. Dominicanos y dominicanas, buenas noches. You know, I would like to share something that was shocking to me before I got here. I visited a family in District 6. And when I got there, because they wanted to get to know me, and it's shocking to know that the opposing party went there and told them that I am on the blue team. Come on. I am with the beacon, and we will remain there.
Hello, yellow.
So District 6, I stand before you tonight as someone who knows the heart of District 6. I was raised right in Long Bay, right next door to District 6. These streets and communities shaped who I am today. Let me share a story with you. In 2009, during my time of playing interprimary football, I remember that during those times, for the first time, the West End School, Alvin Allison Richardson Primary School, was able to build a team, which we called the Dream Team. And we had many practices and football matches here in District 6, specifically Road School. But those battles we fought taught us something very powerful. They taught us about community. They taught us about respect, about fighting together towards something greater. And that fighting spirit still lives in District 6. Look around you. The boat builders who crafted our maritime legacy. The business owners driving our economy forward. The teachers molding our future. The young entrepreneurs ready to innovate and create. But while you get projects, your businesses struggle. While you get promises, our youth struggle for opportunities. While you get ribbons cut, your families struggle to thrive. That's why tonight, we rise up with Patrick Martinborough in District 6. A leader who understands that true leaderships come through the power of service. When Pat was the chairman of Anguilla, they thought they could control him. They thought he would fall in the line, be their puppet. But Pat stood firm. When they pushed, he pushed back. When they tried to silence him, he spoke louder. When they threatened his character, he showed them what true character is. So District 6, you have a great option. Vote for Patrick Martinborough in District 6. A mi comunidad dominicana, esta noche les hablo desde el corazón. Este es nuestro momento para alzar nuestras voces, mostrar nuestra fuerza. Necesitamos un liderazgo que entienda nuestras luchas, que luche por nuestras familias, que construya puentes, no barreras. He recorrido el mismo camino que ustedes. Conozco las luchas, los sacrificios y los sueños de nuestra comunidad. No basta con tener una voz que solo hable. Necesitamos una voz que comprenda, que haya vivido nuestras experiencias, que conozca nuestras aspiraciones. Cuando hablemos de salud, educación y oportunidades, tu voz será mi voz en el Congreso. Tus preocupaciones serán mis preocupaciones. Tus sueños serán tus sueños de un futuro mejor en Anguilla serán mi misión. Así que dominicanos y dominicanas, no se dejen engañar de los rumores que hay en las calles, de que yo estoy con el Partido Azul. Eso es falso. Mi color está más que claro. Mi color es el amarillo, el faro, the beacon. Estamos aquí para representarlos, ser su voz, ser esa persona que tanto anhelaban por tantos años, que entiende nuestros desafíos y se puede sentar en el Congreso y dejar claro qué necesitamos. So District 6, the elections mark a moment to rise. Pat Martinborough and the entire AUF teams understand. Leadership rises by lifting others. Courage rises by standing firm. Communities rise up by staying together. Your current representative measures progress in concrete. We measure it in opportunities. He counts success in ribbons. We count it in change of lives. He builds monuments. We build pathways for our people. Tonight, we rise up. Tomorrow, we rise higher. On February 25th and 26th, we all rise together. So, to every family looking forward to a better future, let's rise up. Vote for Pat Martinborough, a leader of people. Vote for Kyle Hajj. Vote for Joseph Antapool, Evan McNeil Rogers, and yes, vote for a voice that will lead you. Vote for me, Jason, Brian. Let's rise up together. Let's make Anguilla great.
Hello, yellow.
Let's rise up. Hayden said, raise Lazarus from the dead. And there was another comment made by one of their surrogates. He goes around talking all sorts of nonsense. Famously known being called Lil Ting or whatever it is he talk about. And he said that they went overseas and brought back Neil in Pampers. I just want to tell them thing that I put on the Pampers Depends, and I got a lot of people who will take them off and wipe my butt. A lot of people who would do that. So I brought the Pampers, the Depends for you tonight to show you that they brought me back in Pampers and I'm alive and well. Thank God I'm alive and well. I'm back. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of speakers, little time. I want to bring on none other. He's no stranger to you. He's the representative for District number 7, has been from 2015. There's no doubt about Cardi. And I want to re-emphasize that when you go in District 7 and you're voting for Cardi, I am asking you to vote for the entire AUF team. Cardi, come on and speak to your people.
Make your vote count. Anguilla United Front. Yeah, yeah. Moving together, hey. Moving united. We prioritize quality education. Trusting way to better the healthcare system. GST relief to the people. Empowering all the young people. Watch me. Diversify the economy. If you're proud to be a beacon, follow it. We gon' tackle the crime and the violence. This is the time then to come out and vote.
Good evening, District 6. As my colleague Evans McNeil Rogers said, talk to your people. My people, my grandfather came from just up the road, so I am talking to my people. Tonight, District 6, it gives me great pleasure to be here to support a colleague of mine that for a number of years we were on opposite sides of the fence, but we had the greatest of respect for each other. I think, and that respect has grown more and more and more. When we talk about putting our people first, you cannot look further than Pat Martinborough. When many others will talk about the opportunities that are available, the position he had, the people that put him there. Instead, he showed that he was more dedicated to the people of Anguilla. He put the people of Anguilla first rather than just friends. So to Pat, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Another member I've got great respect for, and that is Kyle Hajj. When many thought, in fact, at our last meeting, the Honorable Shelia Rogers-Webster mentioned that Kyle Hajj has probably took a pay cut of over 60%. It was not about money. When people think that politics or politicians about money, they're those that care more about the people than the money that goes into their pockets. So these are guys that we, as the Anguilla United Front, are quite happy to have on board. We've got a leader, not just a woman, but a leader. We often talk about the first female premier. The fact is she's overqualified to be a leader and not just a woman leader. When you come to Blowing Point, in fact, as a child growing up, I spent every Christmas up in the Red Bottom, as they would call it. There are a couple of people from District 6 that I admire greatly. As a youngster and with a love of cricket, there was a gentleman named Lindy Davis who became the first captain for Anguilla to win a first-class match against Montserrat. So to Lindy Davis in St. Thomas, his son Leon Lake, again someone who showed a lot of fight and desire. I want to say thank you for that inspiration. The relationship that our districts have, District 6 and District 7, boat racing. Some of the greatest captains that our culture has brought us. Boat racing comes out of District 6, although District 7 will challenge them on that. But the likes of the late Kora and George Romney and the likes, we say, and Percy Romney, thank you for those special memories. When you think about athletes, Ras Bucket will tell you he was the greatest athlete in the world. And he's got every right, because to be a great athlete, you got to believe you're the best. I saw another standing just back there, Kora Richardson, who went off to the United States to college. But better still, he came back. He came back and he's helping our youngsters of today. So we thank you so much for that. Fellow Anguillians, outside of District 7, you might ask the question, where's Cardi? Because in District 7, they don't have to ask where's Cardi. I will tell you what the people will tell you, not what I will tell you. That during COVID, when our senior citizens were very concerned and afraid to even go to the shops, to even go out of their front door, I went to my senior citizens, the people that I admired most, because when I was a child growing up, they were the ones that protected me. They were the ones that looked out for me. So there was an opportunity for me to go to these people and say, if you need, whether it's sugar, whether you need flour, whatever you needed from the shop, if you needed to pay a bill during the COVID period, I would go and get it. When the youngsters in my community, when they need to come here to Blowing Point to do the cycling clinics, when they need to go to Sandy Ground for boat racing or for whatever we call it, the fact is the development of our youth. They can call me. They've got my number. I doubt whether my two opponents know who they are. I bet you my two opponents don't have their numbers. The challenges, our fellow Anguillians, is that you have to look out for your people. For us to move forward as a nation, we have to bond together. There was a time that I could remember growing up here in Anguilla that we cared about each other. There's something that when we talk about tourism, I was fortunate enough in the Victor Banks's government from 2015 to 2020 to be given the responsibility of tourism. And in that period of time, for 4 years consecutively, we were #1 in the Caribbean, Bahamas, and Bermuda. The first thing that this current government did in the middle of COVID was install a director that was not Anguillian. They then decided that they're going to give the job of chief marketing officer to a German that never been to Anguilla. But he had to come to Anguilla to learn about Anguilla so that we could tell him how to sell Anguilla abroad. He was here for 6 months, 8 months. When he left, they brought in a Trinidadian. I've got no problems about bringing people in to do jobs. I lived in England and Australia. I played cricket there. But I know that we've got the people here who can get the job done. Any job that's advertised in Anguilla, there is somebody somewhere, there's 7 billion people in the world are better qualified. But they can be better qualified when we have Anguillians home and abroad that can do the job. If our people are 80% qualified, that is good enough for me. Close enough is good enough. When our Anguillians go abroad to promote Anguilla, no one has to write a script for them. They open their mouths and their hearts speak. They could tell stories of their grandparents and great-grandparents. That's what Anguilla is all about. When we talk about how are we going to take our people forward, we got to give them the opportunities to go forward. Here in Anguilla, in West End especially, village I grew up in, we've got 4 of the top 5-star hotels in the Caribbean. You go through the gates, it's 5-star. I'm afraid when you drive through our villages, what does it look like? I go out there and I would pick up bottles and cans because I'm proud of my village. You get ridiculed for it. But I want to give a three-letter word. Not a four-letter, a three-letter. But the fact is, if you love your country, you don't care what people think. You'll do what is in the best interest going forward. Campaign time. Campaign time, we talk about the right to vote. As black people, for hundreds of years, we didn't have the right to vote. And can you imagine today our own people want to deprive our people of the right to vote? As a child growing up, and I'm sure many others are like that, the only money that came into our home was £3 from my mother in England, or £2 or £5 to my uncle, or $3 or $4 or $5, that was a lot of money back then, came from my grandmother's brothers who lived in New York. That's what I knew growing up. I also knew that there were boxes or barrels that came down at Christmas. The clothes might have been secondhand, but we thought they were special. These were the people that had to go to a foreign land and had to deal with the ridicule to make our lives better. And you think that today they are questioning whether or not our people have got a right to come home to vote? Back in the 60s, 69 to be precise, when the call came out for women and children, yes, Madam Leader Kora, they asked for women and children to be on the front line. They were afraid that the men would have confrontations with the British. But there was a gentleman from West End by the name of Davis Hughes. We got on his truck and made a trek from West End all the way to the valley. There are many others like him and many others who have been given the Anguilla Badge of Honor. Are you telling me that if Davis Hughes and the others like Franklin Hajj and those guys who came from St. Thomas in the fight for Anguilla, you're going to tell them they don't have the right to vote in the island where they were born and the island that they put their lives? The ones who went to St. Kitts, the one who took the fight to St. Kitts and run the risk of being in prison. You're telling them that if they were overseas, they couldn't come back home with the right to vote? In 2019, when Kora, the Madam Leader, made the amendment to the Constitution to allow for people like Lorenzo Webster to run for office here in Anguilla without giving up his U.S. rights. And this is the thanks we get today. These are the thanks that we get today. Fellow Anguillians, and especially the people of District 6, I'm here tonight to endorse someone I admire greatly. Someone that, when the call came to put your hand up, he was not afraid. He knew he was going to be ridiculed, but he knew, and he knew deep within, as long as he's got the people on his side, he cannot fail. Whatever happens at the poll, Pat Martinborough is the winner. Whatever happens at the poll, he's the winner. But I do ask you, though, in District 6, make it happen. Make him a winner. Go to the polls and vote Pat Martinborough, the beacon. Vote Kyle Hajj, the beacon. Evans McNeil Rogers, the beacon. Joseph Vanderpool, the beacon. And for our many foreparents who went to Santo Domingo, they'll be looking down tonight and say thanks to Kora Richardson Hajj for that amendment to allow great-grandchildren, grandchildren of Anguillians to be able to stand up and say, I too want to represent my people. One of the things that I must say this before I go, there's a large percentage, probably 20%, I'm not sure how many of the persons that were either born in Santo Domingo but are here, and they're on the voters list. I don't know how many people that are on nomination day put their names forward. The APM, I'm sure, would promote that they're for their people. We are prepared to say we've gone to the Spanish for their vote over the years. Now we're prepared to give you someone that you can vote for to say that's one of your own. He's Anguillian, he's Spanish, but the fact is that he's one of us. He's one of us. To my people in District 7, I say thank you, because whenever I put my hand up to say this is what I want to achieve for my community, I don't have to look behind. I just have to look to my side, left and right, because my people are there with me. To my sisters in St. Thomas, Rhonda and Vanette, the two pit bulls you could call them, they're fighters. They're the children, the daughters of Albert Belter Hughes, a man that I respect dearly, the man that all of Anguilla respect dearly. They're hurt, but they've got a fighting passion within. District 7, Anguilla, I love you. May God continue to bless you, and may God continue to bless Anguilla. And sister, I love you.
Make your vote count. Anguilla United Front. Yeah, yeah. Moving together, moving united. We prioritize quality education. Trust in way to better the healthcare system. GST relief to the people. Empowering all the young people. Watch me. Diversify the economy. If you're proud to be a beacon, follow it. We gon' tackle the crime and the violence. This is the time then to come out and vote. 45 beacons, come out and vote.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard Kadi. This is not the first time you've heard him, and with God's will, this won't be the last time you'll be hearing from him. I want to take this opportunity to introduce you to our next speaker and to bring our next speaker to the podium. A man with integrity, a dignified individual, a man who stood up to his principles and his beliefs despite the position he held. He is no stranger to you all. You all have voted for him before, and we are asking you to vote for him again. This is a team effort. And while we are here this evening in support of Brother Pat, an individual who I knew from a kid. I taught him in school. We are here in support of him as the district candidate in this constituency. But we are also here to press upon you to vote for the entire slate of the Anguilla United Front candidates. Without hesitation, Kyle, we are happy to have you. I don't have to remind the people that quite a large number of our AUF supporters supported you in the last general election, even though you were on the other side of the fence. That is a testimony to the quality of an individual he is. We got your back. We'll continue to have your back. And the Anguilla people and Anguilla United Front will continue to support you. The largest vote getter in the island-wide general elections of 2020, the Honorable Island-wide candidate, Mr. Kyle Hajj. Come on and talk to your people. Talk to your people, my brother.
Now tell me if you see it like me. The words they speak are not true on TV. How can things be getting better when so much people still are suffer? Them say things that get better, but we can't see it. Can't see it, we can't. Them say money around right and all, but still I feel it. Still I feel it. Can't sleep at night because we stress out. Every month and that time will kick out. Make our hands now meet. People lying up on street. Change is what we need. Tell me if you you're going through this, working all day and night and still can't live a good life. Tell me if you're going through this, the money where you make done before it.
Good night, District 6. I am happy to be here. I am happy to be a part of this team. I am happy to be in District 6 tonight. I heard that we left Ray Hill smoking and that we left District 3 shaking. Well, tonight we are in District 6.
Hello, yellow.
And we will bring Pat home. District 6. Let's hear some noise.
Hello, yellow. Hello, yellow.
Tonight is not about fancy speeches. Tonight is about hard truths. Tonight is about clear choices. Tonight is about decisions that will echo far beyond Election Day. For 5 years, you have had a representative who thinks leadership means intimidation. A minister of infrastructure who believes progress is measured by ribbon cuttings. Let me tell you, District 6, let me tell you, people of Anguilla, what real progress looks like. While they are building concrete, we are going to build industries. While they are cutting ribbons, we are going to be cutting costs for you, the people of Anguilla. We are going to be cutting costs for our fishermen. While they are posing for photos, we will be proposing real solutions. You see, when I was minister, I advocated for duty-free fuel for our fishermen. I wasn't thinking about photo opportunities. I wasn't thinking about photo opportunities. I was thinking about putting money back in their pockets. Just like in the United States, where farmers get specially dyed fuel for their agricultural needs, I work with one of the local petroleum companies to create a similar system for our farming and our fishing industry. This isn't a new idea. It's a proven solution that works. Under an AUF administration, this will become a reality with specially dyed fuel that can't be resold on the regular market. We can safely give our fishermen the break they deserve. The break that they deserve. At least $1.52 less per gallon. A fisherman using 100 gallons per week will save $152 every week. That's nearly $8,000 back in their pockets every year. That's the difference, people of Anguilla. That's the difference, District 6, between building monuments and building opportunities. That's the difference between serving yourself and serving the people of Anguilla. Your representative wants you to believe that progress is measured in square footage, but the real measure of leadership isn't what you build, it's who you build up. It isn't about the size of the project, it's about the size of the impact on the people's lives. It isn't about how many ribbons you cut, it's about how many lives you change. For the past 5 years, your current representative, the Minister of Infrastructure, has completely ignored one of the most basic necessities in life, and that is water. And why would he ignore water? Why would the Minister of Infrastructure ignore water for the past 5 years? Let me tell you why, District 6. Let me tell you why, people of Anguilla. Because water runs underground. Because you can't cut a ribbon on it. You can't cut a ribbon on water. Because you can't pose in front of it for a photo op. But you can't live without it. So while families struggle every day just to cook and just to clean and just to live, water is not running. These government priorities are wrong. These government priorities are backward. They are backward. Yes, we must improve our roads. Yes, we must get rid of dirt roads. But let me be absolutely clear. Before we fix roads, we fix water. Before we fix roads, we fix healthcare. Before we fix roads, we fix education. Priorities, my people, priorities. Because what good is a paved road when your tap runs dry? What good is a shiny new building when your people can't access proper health care? What good is a ribbon cutting ceremony when our schools are underfunded? At the end of the day, this minister's true priority has never been the people of District 6. His true priority has always been himself. His mission has been to outshine, to outdo, and to overshadow his own father in just 5 years. But while he's chasing his own glory, the people of Anguilla are suffering. And when he failed the people, when he failed to deliver the basic human right, what was his grand solution? The minister's greatest idea and the minister's grand solution as it regards to water was to merge water with Anguilla. That was his brilliant idea. And that was his desperate attempt to shift responsibility instead of actually addressing the problem. But that's when he met something he couldn't control. That's when he met something he couldn't control. Patrick Martinborough's integrity. When they tried to force that merger, Pat stood firm. When they tried to bully Pat, Pat stood firm. When they threatened his character, Pat showed them what real character looks like. That moment showed you everything you need to know about these two men. One leads through intimidation. The other leads through inspiration. One serves his ego. The other serves the people. One builds monuments for himself. The other builds futures for our people. District number 6. A vote for Patrick Martinborough and the Beacon is a vote to restore the honor, the culture, the lifeblood, and the pride that defines this district and our nation. This administration wants to sell you a dream about progress. But how? do we truly measure progress? Is it really by the number of new buildings and roads? Is it? Or is it defined by individual growth, the expansion of our talents, and the ability of our people to thrive and to afford the necessities and some luxuries of life? Progress looks like having adequate money to buy groceries. Progress is the ability to pay your own current bills. Progress is the ability to afford an annual family vacation and to send your kids to the best college without breaking your back. Progress is the building up of kindness, love, and light in our communities. Let me tell you something, District 6, about Pat Martinborough. This is a man whose grandfather taught him that real success isn't measured by what you have, but by how you serve. A man who started as a painter, walked his way through customs and built a successful business, not by stepping and trampling on others, but by lifting up people. When Pat worked at customs, people knew him as someone who cared, someone who took the time to help, someone who understood that service isn't about power, service is about people. And that's why when Pat stood up at Anguilla, it wasn't his first time choosing principle over pressure. It wasn't his first time putting people first. That is just who Pat Martinborough is. District 6, do not miss out on this opportunity to elect Pat. District 6, you deserve leadership that solves your water crisis instead of making excuses. You deserve leadership that builds communities instead of monuments. District 6, you deserve leadership that serves with humility instead of ruling with fear. Let us change course, District 6. Let us elect Patrick Martinborough to represent you. And let me tell you something, District 6. Something very important. As we get closer to election day, the desperation will grow. In these final 2 weeks, the threats will get louder. The intimidation will get stronger. The pressure will intensify. Because they know what I know, and they know what you know, that their power is slipping away. They know it, they feel it, they can sense it. But remember this, when you step into that voting booth, it's just you. It's your conscience. It's you, your conscience, and God. No one can see your vote. No one can control your choice. Your vote is your power. The power of the people will always be greater than the people in power. the power of the people will always be greater than the people in power. And that power, that real power, sits right here with you, the people of District 6. This election is about more than one seat in the House of Assembly. This is about the soul of District 6. This is about standing up to intimidation. This is about taking back your power. Don't let anyone make you feel small, District 6. Don't let anyone tell you how to vote. Don't let fear stop you from choosing the future you deserve. District 6, in less than 3 weeks, you have the power to end the politics of fear. You have the power to end the rule of intimidation. You have the power to end the season of silence. The time for change is coming. It's here. The moment for courage isn't tomorrow, it's now. The power isn't in government offices, it's in your hands, in your vote. So on February 25th and February 26th, stand strong with your conscience, stand firm with your community, stand up for your future. Vote for Patrick Martinborough. Vote for Joseph Antipool. Vote for Evan McNeil Rogers, Jason Bryan, and me, Kyle Hajj. Vote AUF. Vote up the line. Let's build a District 6 where water flows through your tap, not just promises. District 6, let's elect Patrick Martinborough to represent you. Good night, peace, love, and respect.
Ladies and gentlemen, irrespective of what you hear from APM, the future of this country looks bright. But that choice is in your hands. That choice that you make on the 25th and 26th of this month determines our future. I would have heard from the present representative, and he said that all the AUF did while they were in administration is to take for the benefit of a few at the expense of you. Brother Hayden, when you're making those sort of statements, please look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. He also said that it seems as if though the Anguilla United Front candidate in District 5 and the candidate in District 6 is teaming up against him. And he said to the electorate, help me, save me, rescue me. If you were doing such a wonderful job, if you were in touch with your people, are you crying out to them for help? All our help should come from above. Don't wait until election to ask for help. Again, he also said that the honorable member for District Number 3 would have said that she is going to impose income tax. Now, homeboy is such a deceiver that somehow I can't see the honorable member making comments like that the way that Hayden would have put it across. Again, and you decide whether he's lying or whether he's deliberate. He mentioned Christina Scott, the former governor, that she made mention of the debt that the Anguilla United Front would have incurred would cause a negative impact on the future of Anguilla, on generations to come. But he didn't mention that the same Christina Scott would have said that the banking resolution would have been a noose around the necks of Anguillians for generations to come. Where is the National Bank of Anguilla today within the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union? Same APM, AUM was out there campaigning against the banking resolution. Those individuals would have stormed into the House of Assembly when we were passing the banking resolution. And I want to say, thanks to the Anguilla United Front under the leadership of the Honorable Victor Franklin Banks, that we have a successful bank today. A successful bank today. And if they had followed along the lines of the AUF in terms of the GST, they would have had a much more palatable structure than what they have today. The absence of Mr. Banks, because he was the Minister of Finance, was in the trenches. The then Controller of Customs was in the trench with the Minister of Finance. The Permanent Secretary of Finance was in the trench with Mr. Banks. Lo and behold, APM came in. Mr. Banks is not there. The Controller of Customs wasn't there. They put him somewhere else. And the Permanent Secretary of Finance was somewhere else. So when I mentioned that they seem to be in a dark room, butting up on each other, no continuity, none whatsoever. These are the type of decisions that we are having today that is costing us all of that. And when they turn around and say to you, they're going to take off the GST of this, they're going to take it off this, they're going to take it off that, they're going to take it off that. You need to ask them, why did you put it on? Why? Why did you put it on? And when you boast and brag as to how much money is coming in from it, do they realize that the money that is coming in via the GST is coming from you and me and all of us who are struggling? That is what it is. And we can go on to talk about the Anglic saga. It is quiet, you know. Have you heard anything about that since the date for election have been announced? Wow. Ask yourself, why has it gone quiet? We are here this evening, as I said, in support of my student, Patrick Martinborough. What we're going to do now is to bring on an individual who with Patrick Martinborough right up until 2020 was an integral part of Hayden's inner circle. So we must ask the question, why Brother Leon and Brother Patrick is here today? Somebody once said, in order to get rid of the devil, you have to live with him. So those two individuals, among others, were actively involved with Hayden's inner circle. And we're going to ask Brother Leon to come on and speak to the people about your conviction, your commitment to making sure that the support that you gave the present representative is no longer there. Brother Leon, a national icon in cricket and in sports, come on and talk to your people in District Number 6. Come on and talk to them, Brother Leon.
Greetings, my people. Blessings, blessings. Good night, Anguilla. Good night to everyone listening. Good night, my people of Blown Point. 5 years ago, I stood on this podium on the other side. I worked very hard. But tonight, I'm going to do it in points for you. I want you to listen very carefully. Not much hands. Listen. Because when you're getting a message and a warning, you need to listen. What I've done with Patrick and a few others is considered the worst thing I've done ever in my life, my entire life. I stand here tonight to tell the people of District 6 that this APM regime that hijacked the then AUM from Mr. Hubert Hughes. I'm going to go way back. I'm going to take you back on a journey to all the great leaders who stand up in this village. I want to thank you. It takes courage to come up here. It takes courage to represent people. And I want to start by Mr. Hughes. When the transfer from the AUM to the APM was occurring, it was the worst thing that man had ever experienced in his life. Rest his soul in peace. I was on the AUM executive. So it's not no makeup. This is facts. When the transfer was happening, it happened in a house, and I was there. I was sitting next to Mr. Hubert Benjamin, he was the late. And the question was asked, should we stay AUM or should we move? I was the first to go. I said we should stay. It's late in the game. When they reached to Mr. Hubert Benjamin Hughes, his words was this. He said, I would not answer that because you all don't understand what is the AUM, its values, and what it stands for. My people, Hubert Benjamin Hughes drive me home. He was in a great truck. Rest his soul in peace again. I look across this man, I say, but this man is, I have never seen a man so rejected, hurt by his own people. So I said, but why didn't you join me? He said, no. When I gave that man my party, Leon, I took him on a one-on-one on my gallery. So he said for him to sit me in a crowd and embarrass me like that, it was the worst thing that ever happened. So District 6, I'm starting by saying that this APM is nothing of the APM is nothing of the AUM. Let's get to the meat of the matter. We went on. We had an AUM executive. And the first thing we get, the first news we get, I received some calls. I'll do it in points. The calls was, they are trying Mr. the minister of D6 out of the party. So you know that's not about youth party. And this is facts tonight. This is no fiction. I received 2 calls. I don't know if Harold Ruan is around here. Mitch Lake. And they said, this is it. I took up the phone and I'm Anguilla, I apologize. And I called Mr. Rosman Davis. I said, Rosman, can I borrow your office? And I invited Dr. Ellis Webster down, Lorenzo Webster. And I saved that demon. And I said, let me repeat again. I saved him. And I regret today. The ones who are up and down here with him said they did something for him, did nothing. And I'm not an aspiring politician. I sing calypso. I'm a professional cricketer. I'm a national treasure. So let's get to the meat of the matter. We campaign, no GST, had me singing, jumping up and down stages. And when I walk the road, I hear people say, that's the fella who do it. You think that's nice? I watch my people suffer. Go in the shop every day, putting back groceries. I said no. But let's get to the points. I'm going to go down to the next point. I don't want to miss it. When it comes to, I was playing cricket one day before the 2020, in 2021. They had a Premier League. Everybody remember that? And I heard somebody say to me, but Leon, how are you could say you're going to put Anguillians first? And they're giving somebody some job in the tourist board. In a name, I ain't calling nobody names. In the name the person, I check half my pads, I pick up the phone. Mr. Kyle Hajj, you there? I call Mr. Kyle Hajj. I say, Mr. Kyle Hajj, we fought to get you all elected, to develop and bring our people to the top. Anyway, he said he don't know nothing about it. I called Dr. Webster, because he call me every day, you know. I did everything from it. I can tell I that too. I called Dr. Webster. He did not know about it. Anyway, the minister heard that I was disgruntled and upset. So he texted me. He said, so I said, well, Minister, what kind of crisis is this? That you're going to give tourism, which is supposed to be held by an Anguillian that could tell me a rabbit hole and lump it is to up Soil Bay. How could you betray us, our people like that? I said, this is going to cost you all the election. Anyway, we move forward. He typed to me and he said, I said there's no way that individual, because I'm manager, could be at the level of this young, beautiful, strong woman back here, Shelia Rogers Webster. Nowhere close. Trust me. He said she's an AUF. I said, but Hayden, we've fought to say we're going to put our people up top, back to the jobs in every sector. Anyway, that was not the soft part. But my people of Blown Point, I want you to listen to me good. When it came to my cousin over here for 10-4, Chantel, everybody know her? They look body now, but everybody know her, right? I'm a man with a heart who loves my people. The minister typed, and he said, I would never choose her. She's a dunce. She's uneducated. She will make him look bad. He went on and on. But I said, stop. Your father sent her to school in 2011. You was the parliamentary secretary. And I work with her and that's one of the most brilliant young women. And she's from my village. You're not going to destroy her. You know what I did? I put my 2 hands up. I will never lie. I took that WhatsApp and I sent it to Keith Carter. He's married to her mother. I sent it to them. I sent it to Chantel. Out of good conscience, I could not hold that. That's betrayal at its worst. Anyway, I still hold on. Rosman Davis called me and said, well, Leon, you don't get nothing for all the work you do. I said, I didn't do nothing to get nothing because I don't need none of you to give me nothing because I work for everything I want in my life. Rosman said, I'm going to put you on ASPA. Everybody know I do tourism. I got an ASPA. Every day I come home, I fight for the people on ASPA. And I know the chairman as part of what? Someone who was my chairman then was here. I fight for you, the people. Let me tell you something. Leon Lake, was not an ASPA board. You all would have had higher. The taxes was higher. I said you cannot kill our people. Put it under pollution. It's there. It's written. I got to fight back. What you think that was? Let's come home to Blowing Point. I had a big nice with people inside of the ASPA board. They wanted to fire Mike on the bay, Steve on the bay, All of them want to put the baggage straight from the boats to the luxury cars, and the 3 poor men at Blunt Point had to go home. I said, I will block Blunt Point Road. I sent down Ken Gossip, he spoke to them. And my people, I'm telling you the facts. They were doing it for years. They wanted to get rid of the guys that started that industry. I said, you are responsible for training them up. That's our duty. I give them a solution. I went and I had a meeting and I spoke with all the industry partners. We understand the challenges, but you as a leader, we as leaders are responsible to develop our people, not kick them to the curb. Where were you going to send Mike at 50 plus years to work? Where were you going to send Steve? We all know them on the bay. Heartless, ungrateful. And that's a fact. This is the truth tonight. Anyway, we went on. And I watched my people start to suffer. Every time I go in a shop, I see people putting back stuff. I met this lady one time, needed milk. My wife sent me out and I give her the $20. My wife said, but where the stuff I send you for? I say I help an old lady up the road. I swear to my God. So how, to the AUF family and to everyone listening to my voice, any man that says he's going to do something for you and he changed course and implement it without even a letter to defend it, and Kyle Hajj say that every day. If you go inside as a leader and you meet hardship, you come back to the same people you asked to vote for you and said, my people, I am tasked with that. If I don't give up $1 million, they're going to fire 500 of my people. Let's give a next example. A few years ago, people, I work at Viceroy as a top senior manager. And I don't want to make it, this is about Pat tonight, and I want to get to him. When I was in a room and I heard them say they're going to fire 50 Anguillians, years ago, everybody can remember this, down Viceroy. I sneaked to the back door and I called Hubert. In a half an hour, everybody can remember that in the papers, Hubert said he would prefer no money in his treasury than the people work. That's his leadership. Now let's go to Mr. Kyle Hajj. So the reason why I'm on this side, I reach out to this side. And I said, and let me explain this side. Let me go to Mr. Cardigan Connor, a professional cricketer who played with Neil and my father, Lenny Davis, who won the first game for Anguilla. That's my dad. That man, 2020 when we beat him, you know Pointers played 20-21. I take up the phone, I say, Cardi, I don't know what you're going to tell me, I'm not scared. I say, Cardi, I need you to coach the Blunt Point cricket team. You'd be scared too, right? I up there on the podium giving him lecture now. But the man said, I'm a leader. I have roots in Blunt Point. I care for people. And he was there, and he even played with us. Come on, tout your hand for that. That's leadership. I don't want to miss too much points. We're going to go down. I want to go to Mr. Kyle Hajj. What a champion of a man. What a young, powerful, strong, brilliant, intelligent, caring man. And I want to give you all facts. Who, with a young wife, 2 kids, not a house, would have given up $365,000 to come out and defend the people? Who would have done that? Kyle Hajj did that. So I want to see the people in Anguilla. Kyle Hajj number should not be 5,000. Anguilla got 14 to 15,000 people. Kyle Hajj should get 10,000 votes because he stand by you, the people. So you'll be ungrateful too. We're going to go further. Victimization, I heard that in Devon's speech. I heard aim. This man was everything. And you know what? He could take this too and run with the licks, because that's my song. I wrote that song too. Change can't wait. I wrote the song, but I'm up here jumping up. They have no kind of creativity. I only wrote that song. That's a fact. So AUFers, I know you watch me, but Lara do a lot here. But I'm here. But when I went to the Honorable, the next Premier of Anguilla, And I walk upstairs to her and I said, we need to save Anguilla. She received me in open arms. What a woman. And you know what? And that, the next premier of Anguilla is a Richardson, our cousin down here in Blunt Point. Who are talking about? So we all are one family. But let's get to the nit of the point. I heard a lot of people looking to get to the exciting part, right? Coming. Anybody from Blunt Point remember Mammy? What was the by Mammy? A lot of people know, but I ain't gonna call the name yet. Listen. Mammy had something and he had 3 years. It was so struck to bust. What was it? Somebody said it bust. You had something that looked just like how that bus come here the other night. He said she love you. My people, would you be fool about that? And I said, Kwanzaa, we ain't going there because I will deal with that, me, my God. Point 2, I was on ASPA board. I did jury duty. The last time I ever been anywhere close to a courthouse in my life, I was 17 years. But because I opposed the demon, and I said the demon of District 6, and I mean that from my heart, my whole heart. Because I opposed them and challenged them for the betterment of the people to defend Mike, Steve, and the Bay, to say, why not Shelly and Chantel? They tried to cast me aside. They did everything to me, but I'm here in the name of Jesus. I'm here with God. I'm stronger, with people who love me. And I want to say this to you all tonight. I want to say this. I want to get this point in. So I did all that for all my life. Never had a record. My God, one day home sitting down, a fake record showed up on me. Who you think did that? You think. But his record would never go on God's books because Jesus ain't want him, and Satan shows hell ain't gonna want him. Where you gonna put him? Where you gonna put him? Fielder's Green? There's a place called that. Let me tell you all something, District 6. Now we're gonna go down to another point. Josephine Gomes, I thank that woman. When I find it, I tremble because the last time I did jury duty was with the great king, our King Springer. And we were so nervous up there. So you can't do jury duty. You can't be on a board without getting vetted. So people know that's a lie. District 6, I'm going to go to us now. We deserve better. We deserve more. We deserve to be counted. And we deserve to be appreciated for having the cash cow that fed Anguilla Blunt Point for years. Do not leave no man come up here and tell you about he built a road for you. He built a building for you. When they started on an AUF and Cortes finished it, do not be fooled. Let me tell you something. You are giving a minister $1 million when he walk his thumb. $1 million EC dollars where do figures. So you put him here to do work. So everything he do, you paid him to do it. He ain't do nothing for you. He doing for Anguilla. So when a minister tell you that, he insulted you. He insulted your intelligence. You cannot insult people. So let me tell you about my Blunt Point now. That's the cash cow, bringing in the most money. And I look at his team, the next government of Anguilla, in under 26, and I tell them, we deserve and want more. And I, Leon, is here to make sure we get more. We want a waterfront. Where the late die and my grandmother Ina sell peanuts, rice on the old pepper seed, but we want and deserve more. Our people need jobs. Our people need health. Right back on me, this Youth Development Center. I gave the first donation, along with Cortes back then. Want to hear more people? The road in Southall, Hubert Benjamin Drive, Hughes, Leon Lake, road for it. Look what I get. How can I not call them demons? You could pick them up and tell them, come to Blunt Point and show you one rock, then put on here. None. The government project is done by the government. The thing up here is funded by Seamus, not by people. That's funded by a developer. No MOU, no transparency. What a government, eh? What a mistake we make. What a mistake. My people, do you think with that man, that would have happened under Hubert? So you know that's not of Hubert. Let me give you this now. Last one, then I'm going to go to Pat, because I don't want to be much longer. Give me some time. We went. I get a call at night, 8 o'clock. Come, I need help. I say, you need help with what? out of my bed, jump in a car. He take up me and Oliver McDonough. Ask him. You could ask him, eh? Take up Oliver McDonough. We flying out. How about we know we going? We end up by fish trap in a room. The first time I see the real APM executive. I heard a little girl say, we could incorporate all of them, Deanne. I say, what? We could incorporate. And you say you transfer from AUM to then. But you treat us like that. And you know what we went for? Because they was getting rid of Hayden again. Who you think take us? Hayden. So people at District 6 voting for this APM is nothing of the AUM. They hijacked the party. And you see that my open batsman friend, McNeil Rogers, but I don't know what he and Hubert got. That man had loved that man. I said with Hubert for years, he talked about that man, he said, don't touch my Neil. I don't know what Neil got. But on a serious note, people, let's get to Pat. One of the worst things this demon in 6 did to Pat is when Pat went through his struggles, and we all struggle in life. We all have ups, I agree. We all go up, we all go down. We all have money, we all have none. We all have problems, we all do. Because one perfect man walked this earth. That's Jesus Christ. When Pat went down, and Pat said, Leon, and when I say Pat struggles, the late Vincent Carter Zanker, we call each other. We say what we're going to do to help our brother. Mr. Eddie Kelly, I don't know if he's around here. He helped. A lot of people, I want to call names, help with our heart to make sure that Pat saved whatever his challenge was. That's what friends and caring people do. But you know what the demon did? Take up his property, try it up on Facebook, tell people to go buy it instead of helping. But I'm got the money that I mean work for up there sitting down. This is not right. We cannot take it no more. Number 2, Patrick Martinborough. This man sent an email about his family with kids, a man that was married. Disrespected that man so bad. That's when I say, I am out. I had to leave. You do not treat a man that we eat together. We all grow up like brothers together, and you will do that to yokes who you call, who you sit down and grow up with like that. What he gonna do to you? What he gonna do to you? Who's next? Think, my people, think. So, Blood Point, I'm here tonight to tell my people I come. God sent me. I said I would never be back up here, but I come to tell you all, stop it. Stop the intimidation. Stop it. And Hayden is not a fingernail of Hubert. And I, Leon Lake, say that. He cannot step in his shoes. He's no class, no character. Tell him attack me, because I could deal with him. And if they want to go lower, I can go lower. And I'm going to tell you, that man, Patrick Martinborough, when we played down here for sports, he had a little white bus. Everybody can remember that. Leonard them wrong, everybody. That man, we used to play in the valley. He will make 50 trips to make sure Blood Point go up and South will go up. What? He put a trick on me one time, though. I'm going to give you this trick. We were playing in ball tournament, and by Junior still a custom up today when I go by me hunt. And he said, bye, leave us win this game. We're going to, SHP the head against Pointers. I think we were untouchables. He said, if I leave us win this game, we're going to go in the finals. Bye, we leave, Pat win. We sit down by the field, think everything done. Pat went Southall and come back with a motorcade from here long. Junior said, see what I tell you? See? But that's the man he is. He was a fun man, but loving, good fun. But let me tell you, the man, Pat, we got here now, Patrick Martinborough. He said, Leon, I think about running. I said, Pat, if you tell me that, that's God call you. Because, sometimes in life, you have a calling. And this is Pat calling. And it's not, and I know he's going to win because he's on the winning team. Once you're on the winning team, you're done a winner. He's done a winner. And I know I'm going to win, and I'm going to be back stronger because I went a winning team. And I'm going to tell you all tonight, my people of all of Anguilla, because you all look lovely and you look, I'm getting a bit younger, so my sight he can't see too far. But I can see Clinton, I'm getting my guard for him because I'm going to hit you 6 in a bit. But anyway, but on a serious note, people of District 6, let us get rid of that man. And I said it's the demon, I mean that. And I'm not going to change that. And I swear to God, he could walk that way, I'll walk the other way. Because if he's in hell, I'm going to go heaven. And I don't know where he's going to go, so I ain't going nowhere with him. But I'm going to say this tonight. Listen, my people. We all see the charade and the show them had on here the other night. Now listen to this. District 6, you don't think you deserve more? $3,000 when they aired the other night of firecrackers. But for Christmas, District 16 had a candlelight. Not a candlelight. Because everybody hurting. Nothing in the fridge to eat. No food. People struggling. And that's the kind of leadership you want? And I respect Southall. I love District 6. This is District 6. I love what they do. They can light up. But you know why you can light up? Because nothing is transparent. So extras is always there for you. But down here in Blunt Point, we need more. And we deserve more. And with Patrick Martinborough, he's going to give us more. And I'm going to guarantee that. So let me go now and do one more point. And then I'm going to get to the man of the hour. I think I've done justice. And I feel release. And I'm not going to touch that Tasters incident because God dealing with that. District 6, Anguilla, I want you to help me introduce a brother, a caring man, a loving man, a man who understands how to be up, how to be down, and no handouts. A man that took Anglic, save it. A man that they say had a bribe for $250,000, but then he demanded to be housing, throw it up on Facebook. So he didn't take no bribe, because he loved Anguilla. District 6, I want to introduce to you a man I know, love everybody dearly. And if he tell you he don't love you, he don't want to be with you, you have done him something really wrong. So tout your hands. Blow for the next district representative, Mr. Patrick Martinborough. Come forward.
Baba boy don't run. The boy why fight me down? Why you wanna see me fail? We were all human. Why you wanna cut my tail? What if I why fight me down?
Why you wanna see me fail?
We were all human. Why you wanna cut my tail? What if I
Good night to the people of District 6. Hello, Yellow. We are here.
make your vote count? Anguilla United Front. Yeah, yeah.
Beacons, come forward. We ain't staying quiet tonight.
Education, trusting way to better the healthcare system. GST relief to the people, empowering all the young people. Watch way, diversify the economy. If you're proud to be a beacon, follow it. We gon' tackle the crime and the violence. This is the time then to come out and vote. 45 beacons, come out and vote. For the AUF, 'cause we moving together, moving united, moving together, moving united, moving together, moving united. With your people first, leadership you can trust. Moving together, moving united, moving together, moving united, moving
Good night again, one more time. Good night to the people of District 6. Good night, Blum Point, Cul-de-sac, South Hill, Swing High. The beacon is here. Let me touch the people who's listening via the social media and to the Anguillians abroad. The Premier called you tourist voters. But on the 25th and 26th of this month, we will be packing him home and send him to his home in Florida. But let me just get on to basics. One thing we're not going to do, we don't have no aisle, no PDD aisle or no aisle. Just remember that. I don't want to jump the gun, but I had to say that. Let me tell you some real nice stories tonight, because it's about District 6. And the first quiz will be, what have he done for District 6? The minister that I was around saying no GST, vote for APM, 5 votes, 5 votes. They did nothing for District 6. Nothing. We are just fortunate that the port was in Blum Point. So at least Blum Point get one thing out of the APM. And I'll continue. I stand here tonight asking for your support and your vote at the next general election. I want the people of District 6 to change to a yellow wave, a beacon wave. So when you go to the polls on the 25th and 26th, I want you, the people of District 6, to reverse the licks in District 6 and vote all beacons. Joseph Vanterpool, Kyle Hajj, Jason Bryan, and my school teacher, McNeil Rogers, a veteran, somebody that will coach us to the next stage. But let me tell you, they boast about projects. And I'll give you a history about the projects that they're here bragging about. And I must say, not one project, not one idea came from the APM. Let me say it again. Not one project came out of the ideas of APM. They have no vision. They had no plan. The minister boasting. But I want him to tell him, the Central Polyclinic, AUF and Kora Richardson. The Southern Polyclinic, Kora Richardson as a member of the AUF. The Maris Vanterpool School, same procedure. Kora Richardson, AUF. The George Hill bypass, you hear him talking, 30 years. No, he had no 30 years plan for George Hill bypass. Kora Richardson as a member of AUF. We laid the blueprint for you to follow. Now let me tell you what they have on their belt. But no, let me stop. Blum Point Ferry Terminal, Curtis took the lands, and we know what happened with it. But I'll put something on the screen to show you that this APM government and for the first time I'm calling Mr. Hayden Hughes have no vision. I see they say play the tape, but play the video with Blum Point Port. Because he brag and he boasts about this port. I built Blum Point Port. Kora Richardson took the lands and he bragged, I downsized the building 3 times. That's the fellow with vision.
But I want to show you that when you don't have no vision, this is what we end up with. And I must play this video. But in the meantime, I'll tell you, Kora Richardson talk about direct flights, he run with it. Campus Q, he run with it. Airport development and expansion, he run with it. Name something. Name one thing. That was Hayden Hughes, and I'm going to call his name tonight. Hayden Hughes' idea. Not one thing. Nothing. Look at our newly built terminal on an afternoon when the people is going back to St. Martin. That's what he did. Downside the terminal where the people have to stay outside. Not inside, outside. But Mr. Hughes, we putting you outside the parliament this election. No more nonsense. No more disrespect for Anguilla people. All of these projects you hear them bragging about was under the Anguilla program. Nothing of their own. People of District 6, the only thing that this government could claim as their own is GST. The only thing that they can truly brag about is GST. But tonight, I have a special appearance by a guest. And you guys know this guest good. This guest, everybody know this guest. And I'm going to show you what this destructive APM government have done to the people of Anguilla. Guest appearance. Cameraman, I want you to look into this. The guest appearance is right here. Watch me. Mr. Hughes, I know you're looking. I even know you're looking. 1, 2. And 3. Would you believe this is what APM government have done to Anguilla? This is $100 shopping. Let me say it again. This is $100, a bag and a half. And you brag. You look at the screen. What does the screen say? Let me tell you what the screen says. $126 million in GST money. Let me say it again. $126 million in GST money, but no relief for the Anguilla people. None, absolutely. Let me say it again. But right back of us here, right back, the building right here is the community center. No funding, absolutely. District 6, Blum Point, this is our community center. Not one penny. And the minister is around bragging and jumping up here on this stage, going on like he did something for District 6. South Hill, we coming to you next. But not tonight. The minister fooled us again because he believed that Blum Point people foolish. He built a basketball court. I should say he started to build a basketball court. Dropped the basketball court, rushed in the valley, built a village in 3 months and some. The basketball court in Blum Point started before the Carnival Village. You want me to say it again? The Blum Point court started before the Carnival Village. Look at the screen. A finished product. I know you could see good. You see the building? You see the basketball court? You see the rims? You see the roof? That is what your minister did for you. You do not care about the youths of Blumpoint. You do not care about the youths of South Hill. Because let me tell you something. I played basketball there just yesterday. Me and my partner Ras. And if the roof was on, we had trouble. Because the ball would have hit in our head. But this is the type of thing that this minister come down in District 6 to fool the District 6 people that he cares about you. Blumpoint, this young man do not care about the well-being of the youths of Blumpoint. But I can tell you today, on the 26th of February, this will be completed. He completed the village. The village was used in 2024 for carnival. And it never was used again until you know when. Deanne Kentish Rogers had a launch. That's the next use. Abandoned. The village is no more. The white, green, or blue elephant. That's when you have no vision. But I'll continue. And I'm going to call some names tonight. Let me show you that this government don't really care about District 6 people. And we no hold bar tonight. Mr. Timothy Hajj, a young man, well, he's my age, so he ain't so young, have a cycling club with over 30 young people in this club, taking the youths off the street, taking the youths off of gun violence, taking the youths off of crime. You know what the government, how much support the government give him? Zero support. But guess what? As soon as one of them young cyclists excel, here comes Ivan, here comes Hayden, here comes Merritt, and they take a little nice photo. We did this is ours. With no support. A couple weeks ago, this cycling club went to St. Martin and had to pay full tax going to represent Anguilla. So that's what they do. Photo op, and that's it. But there'll be no photo op at this basketball court. None, absolutely. Let's move on. Because it could get a little more sticky. The next incident that the people of District 6 have to face is this dangerous, dangerous tax. They took off hoax tax, and then they targeted businesses in this district. I'll name a few businesses that they targeted. And I could call them by name because it's a lot of problems. Brian's Car Rental, Ronald Bryan. Andy's Car Rental. D&D Car Rental. All of these companies was terrorized and forced to sign up for this GST tax. No consideration at all. So we give you a house tax free, but now we targeting other businesses to make up that money. District 6, we have a video. 4.5 years, this minister was over Blumpoint. When the Blumpoint port finished, he had never drive through here and screw down the window. But 4.5 years later, Mr. Hughes is at a place where I never saw him before, buying drinks for the young guys. But he was the same person that said in District 1, they're buying alcohol to buy a vote. Rikiel, play the video. Put the video on the screen. Let me show you how uneasy he was in this environment. Rikiel, you don't fall asleep on us. Play the video of Mr. Hughes at the bar buying alcohol for the same people that he said the AUF was paying to buy votes. Because that's what he does. He comes around only on election time. But they have done nothing for District 6. Nada. Nothing. But I can continue. I will continue. Oh. Look at the minister. Play it again. Look at the minister. Trying to fool us again by buying a few drinks and figure that you have to vote for him. Oh, boy. That's the biggest smile he had since he was elected. Because he believed, I got him again. I'm going to fool him again. But Mr. Hughes, thanks for the drinks. But no thanks. This time around, the light, the beacon, all lights will be on. No more of that APM disrespectful, ungrateful, kill and bury Leon team. But we have a lady in this district, a young lady. She does promotions. And let me show you how this team, the APM team and the GST, they don't care about us. They don't really care about us. She have a clothing store. She also do promotions. When she do her promotions, and get it clear, when she do her promotions, even if she make a loss, the government comes and take 13% out of her gross, not out of the profit, the gross, and sink up 13% more in a hole. Uncaring, they put not one dime in the promotion, but they take 13% of her gross, walk away, and left the young lady in a hole. That's how uncaring and reckless this APM government is as it relates to GST. I won't call her name, but yes, relief is coming. AUF is coming. AUF team is coming. We will make sure that this GST tax is amended so people like Diaz could have a promotion and we can jump up and down. And she don't have to go home and wonder where she can get the money to pay the GST from. I'll continue. Because District 6, you have been fooled a long time. Nobody in this district can tell me about this individual. Let me say it again. Nobody in this district can tell me about that individual. I grew up with him. I went to school with him. We played basketball together. We was in SHP together. But together as one, but he cares about no one. But while businesses are struggling, families are struggling to make ends meet. But these guys out here bragging about yes to progress. Yes to progress. We welcome progress. We welcome progress. But progress for who? Progress not just for a chosen few. District 6 have contractors too. Mr. Bennett, no work for Leonard. Orabi, little work. The other company, all the work. This is what they do. They care about only a chosen few. And trust me, it's not you. It's not you, District 6. We'll continue. Because I realize he was very nice on Saturday. But he sent Quincy Gomes Marie to attack me. But I'm going to tell her, we will deal with you very shortly. You promised to kill and bury a vote on District 6. And the AG save you But there no one will save you on the 26th of February 2025 at election day. Your sentence will be served. You come in District 6. I love District 6. But when you're up at Tastes, you'll do what? Kill and bury someone who went around you, went around in District 6, underground, because you're a hard seller. And then you say, you don't give a damn. The person got you elected, but you want to kill and bury. But this time around, Mr. Hayden Hughes cannot save you. Dr. Webster cannot save you. Gleneva Hajj cannot save you. You are heading home. Remember, vote for Pat, call it that, 4 lights in the back, all our lights shining. Remember, I told you that. Because the disrespect from this government is unbelievable. When you hear the Premier talk about calling the shopkeepers criminals, you know, dogs. They're dogs. I wouldn't even talk about, I want to see how far the bus could take me. We don't need to talk about that. We know who the bus for, and we will be catching that bus to go up to the House Assembly to watch the conch when the 5 lights come on and shine bright. My people of District 6, I will touch on next issue after Hurricane Irma. You remember you had a dolphin fantasy? Who went down to Sandon Point? Blumbian people could relate to that. You want to go down there now and see? Not evil to clean up the dolphin fantasy. The hurricane destroyed it. It's very unsightly. But you have 126 million in GST money with a dolphin fantasy next to the Blum Point Ferry and not $1. You could go down there and clean it up. And you tell me you care about District 6, the people of Blum Point, you do not care one. I don't want to use that word. You don't give up about District 6. I'll move on. Blum Point, this district, had August wins the boat race. Most of the captains is between Blum Point and South Hill. Not $1 in boat racing. No sponsorship for August wins the boat race. You neglected District 6 boat race, and you're all bragging that you got money. Progress. Yes to progress. No, yes to nothing. You do not like the people of District 6. You want to get elected to brag and boast again. I'm going again. The boat building industry. We have some young boat builders. Young boat builders. Let me show you how this uncaring government is. And for every boat that these young boat builders build, they have to pay full duty. But yet, they say they have a manufacturing policy. But boat builders like Beggar, Jardel, Bullet, Raymond, I think he's right here at APM. He had on his jacket and tie when they opened the village. He have to pay full duty on every item they bring in for boat building. But he don't care about that. We had a guy on the stage here, right here, a couple of days ago, talking Spanish. He's the captain of a boat, the Bush Boys boat. He went to the same minister who makes $20-something thousand for sponsorship. And guess what he gave him? 100 EC and 50 US. Full sponsorship. That is what he did. For a boat that is from your district, Mr. Hughes, your countdown is on. No more victimization. Because when the AUF get to power, we will honor our national sport. We will make every item for boat building free. And it's not a big list. Because we have companies in Anguilla that have duty-free concessions. So help these young people. Because that's what you don't do. All I want to say, they don't really care about us. They're building buildings, they're threatening the government, and sucking every dime out your pocket. If you don't believe me, I'll put something else on the screen. But let's continue. Because tonight, District 6, tonight will be the night that you make a decision on the 26th to get rid of this regime. The Hughes regime have done nothing. His father, you want a quiz? People of District 6, name one thing that Hubert brought to Blum Point. I'll give you 5 minutes. You want a pen? It's a quiz. Nothing. His son, 4.5 years. Thanks to Curtis, we get a Blum Point Ferry terminal. But we get an unfinished basketball court. We get an unfinished road. The road that leads to nowhere. Because when we drive on the road to go play basketball, we can't play no basketball. But one thing we say, Kaka, you can drive home in luxury. Raquel, show Mr. Hughes' road. Show the road. The road stopped right there. It was supposed to connect to Jeremiah Highway. But I think he got a disease. He don't like to finish things. He like to start, take photos, and run out. So that's the road right back here. That's the end of the road. That is the end of the road. And he gone thinking that he fooled us again, and we're going to vote for him again. But you know, I was the chairman of Anglic. And I think that will drive the nail between both of us. But let me show you how dangerous this young man is. And I'll call a name that was sitting on the board with me, someone from District 6. Donna Sadie Gomes was one of the directors at Anglic. But he so wanted Patrick Martinborough, and he so don't care about District 6, he removed Patrick Martinborough and Donna Gomes. And replace Donna with a Trinidadian that don't even live in Anguilla. How can you tell me that this minister is from District 6 and end up with a Trinidadian on Anglic board? But I remember hearing him saying Anguilla first. But I'll tell you, Anguilla last in everything. Because this minister don't really care. Once you do not tread the lines and be a puppet for the minister, he will come at you. But one thing I did is stand firm. You realize the PPA story have gone, vanished with the wind? No more PPA story. Elections is on. So we're going to leave that alone. But if you elect them, you will not get any relief in your electricity bills. But remember, when we come to power, and I say we, the AUF team, under the leadership of Anguilla's first female premier, say what you want. Say what you want. This will make history. Because you know one thing? She's well measured. 2, she's a lawyer. Sometimes I think she's too calm. But one thing I can tell you about her, she listened to her team. And this is no struggle between a East Premier or a Southern Premier. We have one leader. And it will be one Premier. It will be no tug of war when AUF come to power. So people of District 6, they say, oh, this district was never AUF. We going to make it an AUF district because we're going to come to power and take care of the people of Anguilla. We will give the boat racers concessions. We will bring relief to the car rentals. We will fund the Bonpoint Community Center. We will finish the basketball court. We will finish paving the roads. We will give my good friend Diaz some relief when she do her promotion. So all of us will be able to jump up and down when she have a show. Come on, this destructive APM government only brag about projects. Nothing else. They don't care about us. Let me continue. Because they like to brag and boast. And you see Ivan around here, driving around. I think he's somewhere around here. Because tomorrow morning, I guess Trump will attack Pat. He'll attack Kora. He don't like the dance. Listen, do not listen to these people. It is time. It is time. Road South. District 6. South Hill. Blum Point. Sandy Point. And the sound of my voice. Kyle is here. And he didn't come here by mistake. Because you called the text a yellow dad text. Sucking on your favorite mango tree. But he was right. He was right. Mr. Hughes was quite correct. And I believe that the first time he tell the truth. Because he's a known liar. He lies about everything. Because when they asked him about the increases at ASPA, he did the same thing. People of District 6, we have the solutions. We are a caring team. We will look out for you. We will make sure that you get relief on your electricity bills. Not fake it to make it. Not no PPA story. Why would you take the power of Anglic and give it to a foreign investor when the sun is for free, the land is ours, but you want to bring a middleman, some fishy story with this PPA to sell Anglic electricity that we can generate for ourselves? Let me tell you, they don't really care about us. I can continue. What a set of fellas. I could go on and on and on because they brag and they boast about sucking money out of your pockets and say progress. Say yes to progress. Not for you. My people of District 6, it's getting a little late. So I'll cut out somebody. Cut it out. But you know what you have to do. Stand strong. Do not fear these people because they're wrong here telling the people, we will know who you vote for. Your vote is secret. They won't know a thing. But with the money that they are passing out, I just want you to do one thing. Take the money, because you're not going to get any more if they get elected. Take the money, go to the polls, and do one thing. Vote for all lights. Vote all lights. There's no comparison. There is no comparison between the two teams. Just tonight, the premier don't want no leaders debate. You can imagine that. Call elections, snap elections, and don't want to debate our leader. Don't want to debate our leader. For what reason? That will show you the man is incompetent and he needs to go home. The medical system under the doctor have declined a medical doctor. What a shame. That's why when they say we bring back Neil to fix the problem. Because it shows that Neil is a much better Minister of Health than Dr. Webster. I say, Clive, ring, ring, ting, ting. The bell don't ring. So it's you, the people of District 6. Do not leave these people fool you again. Not one more time. No more times. District 6, the people of South Hill and Blum Point. They do not mean well. They strive on you catching hell. So return the favor to them and send that uncaring APM government packing. And tell them you have a government in the waiting. AUF. But they are out here fear-mongering and talking about, if AUF get in, they will stop seeing your shield. If AUF get in, they'll stop the airport. If AUF get in, don't let them fool you. Because they have nothing else to talk. Nothing else. How come they didn't stop Blum Point Port? How come they didn't stop the clinic in Southall? How come they didn't stop Campus B? How come they didn't stop Campus Q? Don't leave these people fool you. They think you're a fool, but we're not foolish. We will finish where you left off. We will improve health. We will improve education. Well, I shouldn't even talk about education because we have no minister of education. We have a Zoom education minister. We operate by Zoom. But I don't want to go too hard on her because today she here, tomorrow she over there. Because she told us, I have to leave. She did leave. And 2 days after, she was back, calling Kyle. Come back, Kyle. No. When we stand our ground, we stand our ground. You talk about not taxing a dead economy, Mr. Premier. You, Mr. Hughes, talk about GST was bad. It was like sucking on your favorite mango tree. But you went to the House Assembly and vote all yes to GST. So for your yes at GST, Road South will send you home, Mr. Hayden Hughes. Mr. Merritt Richardson, we love you, but bye-bye. I won't go down to West End because there's only one candidate in West End. One. It's Mr. Cardigan Connor. When you go to District 3, don't talk that district. That is one bright and shining light which will never go out. When you go to Island Harbor, we have the heavyweight, Claude Smith. But when you go to District 2, make sure, people of District 2, we play music one time a year, and that's during Carnival. That's when we'll jump up with you, Mr. Vanterpool. You have someone that can lead this country into prosperity, not for a chosen few, for all Anguillians. So go out in District 2 and show your full support behind Kora Richardson Hajj, the honest leader in the AUF team. No fight. No fight at all. So to my AUF supporters and my AUF supporters abroad, come home. Come home. They cannot stop you. They're going to St. Martin to bring some tourist voters. They went to UK to get some tourist voters. But I will tell you this. They will do what they have to do. But I forgot one area. Vibes alone. Vibes alone. When you hear the minister down here talking about a minister, well, I didn't say, I said, oh, wrong, sorry. I'm so anxious for him to become a minister, but he will. Kora Richardson. Vibes alone. District Number 4, I know you bringing him home. Bring home Kora Richardson. Bring home Patrick Martinborough. The same man that the minister had the confidence to put me on Anglican board. If I couldn't solve, he would have never put me there. His father put me on ASPA board. So he know I'm capable. But he will talk everything bad about Patrick Martinborough. But go down by Walton Fleming. Ask him what happened without this individual did at Anguilla Trading. Ask Romel Hughes, his cousin, when he had the... I won't say. Because these people stand up here like the Almighty, they never sin. But yet, he had an illegal water connection. And he can afford it. But he stand here with his chest high. I don't want to go down there. I don't want to go down the avenue. But people of Anguilla, people listening via the social media platform, Anguillians abroad, the time is now. No later time. Save Anguilla from these destructive people. Again, save Anguilla from these destructive individuals. We can do better. Let me check the time. Oh no, this is my watch. Nobody else watch. No watch business tonight. We ain't performing. No. All India. Madam Leader, you ready? People of District 6. Ain't no more licks. We know exactly how to vote. You probably drive through tomorrow morning, checking. No, 4 plus 7 is all 11. But we ain't going on that route. No. 25th and 26th, all lights. All lights. Nothing else but lights. Jason Bryan, a very educated young man. Shelia Rogers. You know, I like Shelia, you know, because the Madam Leader is measured. But you see Shelia, don't mash a can. Don't mash a can. So the people of District 6, team, I want all my team up here. All the team come up on stage. When you go to the polls on election day, vote to fold this shopping cart. Vote to get relief in your pocket. Vote to save your money and your account that this destructive government is pulling out your pockets. Vote so people in businesses in District 6 could get relief.
Diversify the economy. If you're proud to be a beacon, follow it. We gon' tackle the crime and the violence. This is the time then to come out and vote. For the 5 beacons, come out and vote. For the AUF, cause we moving together, moving united, moving together, moving united, moving together. With your people first, leadership you can trust. Moving together, moving united, moving together, moving united, moving together, moving united. District to district, you know we united. Oh, you know we united. It's that time again. We coming on strong in the sun or rain. Make your vote count, things can't be the same. When you see the beacon shining, you don't know the timing. How are you come out and vote? For the 5 beacons, come out and vote. For the AUF, cause we moving together, moving united, moving together, moving united, moving together, moving united. With your people first, leadership you can trust. Moving together, moving
We are ready to lead. We are ready to roll up our sleeves and work for you, the people of Anguilla. Do not be fooled. Do not be bullied. Go out on the 26th and the 25th and the 26th and vote this team. I will now bring to you the only leader of this AUF team. One leader, Mistress Kora Richardson Hajj.
We voted for Kora. Get ready for Kora. We voted for Kora. She decided to get in politics. Now she out there taking so much licks. Her name is Kora Richardson Hajj, who's setting such good examples. So anything Kora talk, she ready to walk the walk. Hey, Kora, Kora, yes we voting Kora. For a better future. Let me hear you. Sing it, people. Who we jumping for? Who we waving for? Who we waiting for? Who we voting for? Kora, Kora, oh we voting Kora. A champion for Anguilla. Hey, Kora. Oh yeah. Labor Act in 2019. Recognition for our grandchildren.
District 6, good night. Good night. Hello, yellow. Hello, yellow. I'm not going to be too long, but it is a pleasure to be here with you tonight. And I want to say a special good night to my Blowing Point family, the Romneys, the Connors, the Davises. Good night to you. And I'm happy to be here to support the Anguilla United Front candidate for District number 6, Mr. Patrick Martinborough. Buenas noches, distritos, yes. Me alegra que muchas de ustedes estén aquí para apoyar a nuestro candidato del Frente Unido de Anguilla para el distrito 10, el señor Patrick Martinborough, y a nuestros 4 candidatos de toda la isla, el señor Jason Bryan, el honorable señor Kyle Hajj, el honorable señor Jose Vanterpool y el señor Evan McNeil Rogers. And you know why I'm so proud to be here tonight to endorse Pat and to support Pat is because he is a man who stood on principle. We all knew where he was. We all know where he was. And you see him here tonight. Can we give him a round of applause? An amazing job tonight. And Pat was appointed to the ANGLEC board by the District 6 representative, the Honorable Mr. Hayden Hughes. But Pat realized that Mr. Hughes and the APM were trying to control the board. And their control of the board were not in the best interest of the people. And so Pat stood up. And when he stood up, he was attacked. He was cursed. He was thrown off the board and thrown out of the leaking, sinking boat. And so Pat swam in the deep, dark waters until he saw the light of the beacon that guided him to shore. And when he came to shore, Kyle Hajj gave him a towel, because he met Kyle Hajj there. And he met Joseph Vanterpool there. And he met Jason Bryan there. And he met Evan McNeil Rogers there, our 4 Ireland-wide candidates. And he met the Anguilla United Front family there by the beacon, embracing him with open arms. And so, on election day, you must vote for a man of principle. You must vote for a man who stands up even though he is attacked and is willing to face the fire for the good of the people of Anguilla. And so I ask for you to vote for Patrick Martinborough, residents of District 6. Vote for Pat in District 6. On the ballot on the left-hand side, you will see his name next to the beacon sign. Shade in the circle next to Pat. Don't look for anybody else. Patrick Martinborough. And on the right, you're going to see the 4 beacons. Honorable Kyle Hajj, Honorable Joseph Vanterpool, Jason Bryan, Mr. Evan McNeil Rogers, and you shade in on the right-hand side. Don't touch the circle. Shade in. Vote right. Vote 5 lights. Vote right. Vote 5 lights. Vote for the beacon. Thank you. Buenas noches. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Anguilla. Good night.
Make your vote count. Anguilla United Front. Yeah, yeah. Moving together, hey. Moving united. We prioritize quality education. Trusting way to better the healthcare system. GST relief to the people.
Thank you all very much for coming out in your numbers this evening. We surely appreciate it. And just to emphasize that, on the polls, on polling day, please go out and vote for the 5 beacons, the Anguilla United Front. And before I go, let me remind you that our next meeting will be on Thursday in the Farrington next to the Sasso Sauce Bar there. We are looking to see you then. And to remind the people in District 6, I'll go back to what the late Honorable Eric Reed mentioned. He and the late Hubert Hughes would have had several altercations, some physical in the house. And he said, if you think Hubert Hughes is bad, Hayden Hughes is 10 times worse. Good night. See you all on Thursday in the Farrington by the Sasso's Bar. Thank you all very much for coming and have a safe journey home.
Make your vote count. Anguilla United Front. Yeah, yeah. Moving together, hey. Moving united. We prioritize quality education. Trusting way to better the healthcare system. GST relief to the people. Empowering all the young people. Watch way. Diversify the economy. If you're proud to be a beacon, follow it. We gon' tackle the crime and the violence. This is the time then to come out and vote. For the 5 beacons, come out and vote. For the AUF, cause we moving together, moving united, moving together, moving united, moving together, moving united. With your people first, leadership you can trust. Moving together, moving united, moving together, moving united, moving together, moving united. District to district, you know we united. Oh, you know we united. Oh, is that time again? Make your vote count. Anguilla United Front. Yeah, yeah. Moving together, hey. Moving united. We prioritize quality education. Trusting way to better the healthcare system. GST relief to the people. Empowering all the young people. Watch way. Diversify the economy.
For those of you who are still around and would want to stay around for another half an hour, we'll have some live music for 30 minutes. Young folks again, you know, playing a little entertainment here for us.